Hey guys, this is Lion of Judah from the Guild 7 from Thunderhorn server. So glad to be with you guys yet again. This is going to be my Survival Hunter guide for you for 6.1. Now I am going to try to make my best to make this future-proof as far as like hot fixes that might come up for talents, for abilities, for all those such things that Blizzard does that basically when I say this talent is the best in slot for right now, today, and then of course next week they might do a hot fix towards another talent that makes that better. I will of course put annotations in this video if that does happen. But of course, as of right now, today is the 28th of February. This is when I am making this video for you. So that ahead, let's just go right into it. So this is the Survival Hunter guide to play the hunter as best as possible as a survival hunter. So we're going to be looking at a couple of things. My character right now, as far as Lion goes, he is basically maining survival. So this, of course, with no, not being fully buffed and everything like that. My multi-strike is only at 10%. I think once I am fully raid buff with food and everything like that, I think I go up to almost 17. So it's still relatively low for what I would like comparatively to some other friends that I have that are a little bit around my eye level that have more multi-strike than I do because of course they just get better luck with the gear. But we'll go over that. So right now for survival hunters, the stat priority is still the same. It's going to be your agility, followed by multi-strike, versatility, crit, mastery, and haste. And of course, you're going to want to have all your slots enchanted with multi-strike, which is your neck, your cloak, and of course your rings with all multi-strike on it, as well as the missile splitter enchant for your weapon. So that being said, your tier talents are only a couple of things have changed. It's been relatively known for already that there was going to be a change to Murder of Crows and Stampede. Right now, as far as the Sims go, it looks like Stampede is going ahead and overtaking Murder of Crows. So a lot of people are switching over Stampede. Murder of Crows is still a viable option for survival, though. So by playing one or the other, it's not saying like, oh, you're a noob for playing, for doing Murder of Crows. But I would go with the Stampede since it is doing a little bit more damage, and it's a 5-minute cooldown. You don't have to worry about it like every other minute, just like Murder of Crows. So doing Stampede isn't bad. Now, Thrill of the Hunt is still better than Dire Beast and Steady Focus. Steady Focus still being a very close second, but Dire Beast not really being a good talent right now to use. Now, this row for level 90 is a huge debate. A lot of people are wondering, Glaive Toss, Barrage, Glaive Toss, Barrage. And this is still proving true for 6.1, Glaive Toss is still the single target choice for survival hunters. That is still current as of right now. For anything more than 2 targets, it is recommended to go with Barrage. But since I am going to be on the training dummy right now, I'm just going to use the single target rotation. So that is why I'm choosing Glaive Toss for right now. Any other chance you get that is a non-gruel fight, so basically anything with, like I said, like a Hans and Franz, Barrage all the way for survival. Now for level 100, it is sort of dependent on how much you're capable of movement. So focusing shot, if you can stay still or at least be able to do focusing shot when you need to get that focus, it is recommended to use focusing shot. However, if you're just not digging focusing shot, or maybe you're just not liking it, Lone Wolf is still a very, very good talent to use. Exotic Munitions Fire is still recommended for certain AoE moves, but focusing shot will take ahead over that. So all that being said, glyphs are still pretty much unchanged. Glyph of Liberation, Glyph of Deterrence. I pretty much have Glyph of Pathfinding. A lot of people that, Glyph Animal Bond is another one that you could really use, especially if you have your pet active. So if you are taking the survival, or if you are taking focusing shot, I personally recommend to have Animal Bond. It's just that a lot of times for me personally, focusing shot is something that I can't do most of the time. So usually I'll just stick with Pathfinding just for that increase in speed. Other than that, though, that's pretty much still all the same, really, from 6.0. So as far as your opener as a survival hunter, now, the one thing that I want to kind of explain to people is your rotation is a priority list, not a set rotation. Now, the way this whole rotation works, especially if you have Stampede. Stampede is, if that is off cooldown, you push that over anything and everything else. So that is a huge damage increase for you. Of course, followed after that, you're also going to want to use Black Arrow. Black Arrow is probably your quintessential move for survival, so you're going to want to hit that literally on cooldown, followed by your lock and load procs, which will be off your explosive shot, then of course by your Glaive Toss, then followed by your explosive shot when it's not on lock and load, and then just arcane dumping, or are using your arcane shot as your arcane dump, so you do not hit your focus cap. And especially when you're using focusing shot, it is very easy to hit that focusing cap, especially when you're regenerating 50 focus on almost instantaneously. So do try your best, especially that's why Thrill of the Hunt is so good, especially since your arcane shots only get, of course, they're only going to cost 10 focus for you. So you're going to want to make sure that you're never approaching that cap. But there is a couple of little nuances, of course, that I want to go over with you. Now, having said that, of course, when you're approaching a regular raid boss, whether it's like a Kargath fight, which is, all single target, of course, you're going to want to pre-pot, and then, of course, line up your cooldowns accordingly. But a lot of people, they always, especially in this expansion, they're going off of what they've been doing in previous expansions. And the one thing that I see that hunters are doing now is they're not keeping track of their focus. And what I mean by that is that they're dumping all their focus and having no focus whatsoever. Like, especially when you don't have focusing shot and you're using Lone Wolf, it is very bad for you to be focus starved. You never, ever, ever want to be focus starved, because as soon as something comes off of cooldown, which you're going to see in your rotation a lot, especially when it comes down to Black Arrow, and of course if before, you had Murder of Crows, which was another, like, 30 focus, using 30 focus, and of course 35 focus for your Black Arrow. You need almost like 70 focus right there to have those back to back, and then let's just say your Glaive Toss comes off of cooldown. So you need to really manage your focus, and a lot of people are having to Cobra Shot, Cobra Shot, Cobra Shot. That's why when you can use focusing shot, it just makes your rotation so much more breathable. You have so much more room to make sure that whenever that 3-2-1 comes off of your Black Arrow or your Glaive Toss or even your explosive shot, which costs the least amount of focus, is only 15 focus, you have to hit these moves off of cooldown. It is that important, and that is what separates you from the LFR hunter and you as a hunter. You have to not have that LFR mentality and think you just spam everything and then have no focus, and then you're there regenerating. Now, when you're using focusing shot, you kind of want to play around the low focus because you generate so much more focus in return, but you want to save your Black Arrow and your explosive shot on cooldown. So right now I'm just going to kind of semi-demonstrate the opening sequence for you. So, okay, here I go. Don't laugh if I mess up. So of course you're going to want to pre-pot, and then what I like to do when I pre-pot is I like to pre-cast focusing shot, then Stampede, Black Arrow, Glaive Toss, explosive shot, and then basically burn your arcane shots. Now basically when you're doing this, you're going to want to keep around this focus, and you see what I did there, I see my focus, and you have to make sure that you can dump your use your arcane shot quickly enough to where when stuff is coming off of cooldown, you can do that. See, right now I'm not going to do anything. Wait for Black Arrow, pop that. See? It's all about managing your focus and basically seeing what you can push, and always knowing what you're going to do before you even do it, and having that type of look to see, like, because a lot of people, when I see them see almost everything comes off of cooldown, and you're going to want to hit it almost immediately. And then when Thrill of the Hunt comes off, you're going to want to just use those ASAP. Now, it's okay to be a little bit off as far as time goes. That's okay. But as I just demonstrated to you, you want to even wait the extra 2 seconds, so that way you can hit your Black Arrow off cooldown, you could hit your explosive shot on cooldown, you could hit your Glaive Toss off cooldown, because those are the things that are going to separate you from every other hunter. Now, and a lot of people, especially for me personally, the way gear has been working as of late, and I have had my own qualms with the way gear has been working, especially without reforging anymore. you need multi-strike to perform well as a survival hunter. That's just bottom line. So multi-strike is a very important stat for you. And especially with Scales of Doom, how that gives you a lot of multi-strike. If you don't have, like for me, my other trinket is pretty much garbage for survival. It's haste and mastery, which aren't that good. And a lot of the gear that I just have not been getting multi-strike. I mean, there's multi-strike right there, some versatility, multi-strike and versatility. No, it's just I have not been. I mean, right now my item level is 672. I can do about 34 single target. Of course, that's with me not having any buffs and everything like that. But I love survival. It's a very easy, it's a very manageable rotation you can do, especially for a beginner. If you want to play the hunter and you're kind of intrigued to play the hunter, survival is a good way to go. But for us that have been, I guess more upper echelon type of hunters, I'm not talking like top 10 guilds. I'm not talking if you're a member of Method or if you're a member of Paragon. They do a whole different thing of what I'm trying to show you. I'm pretty sure. But this is just for your, everyday hunter. I've been playing this game for over 9+ years. I do very well as far as the hunter goes. I am trying to show you the more niche things as far as a hunter. But really, it's just managing your cooldowns as survival. It's not anything special that I'm not showing you that I'm going to be doing when I'm not doing this video. That's going to be like, oh, I should have showed him this because this is what really gives you more DPS. It's not really like that. Now, as you're doing your rotation, you can also filler your explosive trap. If you want to do your explosive trap, you can definitely fill that in, because there is some time, especially in single target, you can actually just do that filler, because you always want to be hitting a global cooldown every chance you get. Now, the only time you don't want to be hitting a global cooldown is if one of two things happens, is if hitting a global cooldown such as Arcane Shot is going to focus starve you when there's something else that's going to come off the cooldown that needs your focus. So using explosive trap will be pretty much quintessential for you, because it'll do that damage. It won't be a lot of damage, but it'll at least be a global cooldown. You can still pump out some damage. And doing stuff like that kind of separates the men from the boys from the men. And for me personally, like, I see myself with other hunters that are literally like at a 655 eye level, way outperforming me, because they have way more multi-strike than I do. Now, when I've been talking to a lot of other hunters, they basically tell me, if you don't have multi-strike, you're not going to perform well. And one of these websites that I was looking at basically was talking about how the stats are so quintessential to what makes you perform very well as far as DPS goes. And if you lack, one of those stats, but you're, like for me, I have almost 26% crit. Maybe I'll perform better as marksman. But this is my, what I would tell you. If you don't like playing marksman, don't play marksman. If your guild leader is not forcing you, if no one is telling you, like, man, as a hunter, you do bad DPS, like, you're garbage, like, then maybe you should kind of fix yourself up to where you can do better. But if you like doing a certain spec, if you absolutely love survival, then you need to start doing things proactively to be better, which basically means you need to get certain pieces of gear. You need to find out where in Blackrock Foundry drops those multi-strike trinkets, where you can start getting multi-strike gear. I mean, it's that important. Like for me right now, everyone's all ranting and raving about Beastmaster, and Beastmaster being the best, but if you look at it without your set bonuses, because I don't have set bonuses right now for survival, but apparently the set bonuses for Beast Mastery just outperform the other two specs right now. But if you don't have your set bonuses, they all perform relatively pretty much equal within each other. So playing Marksman is not going to be better than playing Survival than by playing Beastmaster if you don't have your set bonuses. But apparently if you do have your set bonuses, BM is the way to go. But in that same token, if you have 0 mastery, you're not going to perform as well as someone who has, 30% mastery, 25% mastery. I'm just giving examples here. So really it all depends on the gear you have. For me personally, I can play all 3 specs. I can play Survival, I can play Marksman, and I can play Beastmaster. What I love to play is of course survival and beastmaster. Marksman right now, I'm not digging marksman. It's too much of a hassle for me personally. It kind of takes the fun out of being a hunter because you have to watch out for your mastery and everything. But this is just my little advice to you guys. This is just what I suggest. Now, if you have any comments, questions, concerns, please leave your comments below. I'll be more than happy to answer anything you all have as far as talent choices, your gear, but be proactive. And I found this really amazing website, which I'm going to link in the bottom description below for you, that is different from Icy Veins and is by a fellow hunter who has done his research. So if you want to be a better hunter, please read his stuff. It's very, very good. Other than that, that's really all I have for you guys. I mean, it is pretty simple. It's not really much that I have to explain for you guys. I mean, you guys are all adults, but that is pretty much the single target, rotation for the survival hunter. I showed you all of what I got. So if you like this video, share it around to your other hunter guys. If they like playing survival, I will have a marksmanship guide for you. I will also have a Beastmaster guide for you guys coming out in the days to come, so watch out for those. And I really appreciate all my viewers and giving me the support and love that you guys have been giving me. Now, I literally get astounded by the type of comments that I get, and I really do appreciate it. All shouts from Germany, from Australia, from Saudi Arabia, from Africa, from South America, from Canada to Hawaii, China, Japan, Russia, all you guys. I really, really do appreciate all the feedback you give me, and it just makes me a better hunter, and that's why I try to give back to make y'all a better hunter. So all shouts being given. Thank you guys, and I will see you guys later.